So, Craig, let's talk about the people who typically borrow hard money.
Yes.
The first one, you have homeowners that actually borrow hard money, and that would be not a borrower that we would be interested in.
Yeah, the Norris Group doesn't deal directly with any owner-occupants, is what they're called. Basically, those people that go to borrow hard money do not have any other options.
Right.
They can't go to a bank. They can't go savings and loan, credit union, that type of thing. So they're almost left with one option, and that is trying to get a private money, hard money loan based strictly on the equity in their house. And usually those people aren't the best risk.
And a lot of times those loans are not first trust deeds. Almost always they're behind something else.
Almost always they're in second position, and a lot of times they're trying to borrow money to catch up on the first. So that's just not a very good start for an investment.
Another person that would borrow hard money would be somebody that wanted to buy and start owning rentals.
Yes.
Okay. Now, is that easy money to find in the normal finance world at this point?
At this point in the market, that's almost impossible for most people.
Absolutely.
The banks have just totally shut off almost dealing with investors. So that market is wide open for private money.
We also have another category of investor that buys properties, fixes them up, and resells them.
Yes.
And that's, I've borrowed millions of dollars under that hat.
Yes.
And from you, and like that. And yet I remember I'm paying 12.5% interest in points, but it made perfect sense. So the borrower that comes to us borrowing that kind of money, why do they choose, do you think?
Well, I think there's numerous reasons. First reason, a lot of those people might be cash heavy, but maybe when they go to a bank, they sit down with the banker and he looks at their tax returns or how much they made last year, this year, their certain income qualifications, and maybe they don't fit, yet they have $1 million in the bank, which is ridiculous.
Plus that whole thing takes a lot of time.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
That time frame is sort of unacceptable in the world of buy-sell, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, they use us because we can close in a short period of time. We'll close on houses that do need work, which is another major reason. Banks, I can't tell you how many calls I get from somebody that their next-door neighbor was a banker and was going to lend them money on the house, and then they went out and saw the house and it needed a new kitchen or something like that. When you're dealing with hard money, lending to a professional like that, I mean, that's just part of the cycle.
There's also some kind of cost involved in having something not close. So if I'm finding deals and I have a relationship with a broker that's saying, okay, here's another good deal, and that doesn't fund, that could be very expensive because our relationship might be severed and now my chain of properties is gone. So paying a little more for financing sometimes, as long as it's assured to fund, is really a smart move business-wise.
Oh, absolutely. The Norris Group is on so many ends of the transactions where they're successful. And you can't say enough about that repetitive relationship. Because right now in the particular market that we're in, a lot of people call me that are new and they say, geez, you just can't find any properties. Well, as you know, I mean, we're overrun with properties, and the main reason is our investors have people that will just call them and say, we have this house at this price if you want it. And the bottom line is they've closed all the deals with that real estate agent before, so they know they're going to close the deal.
In some markets, the Norris Group is a builder, and also we would make construction loans. It might not be this market because we're aware of the cycles, but that would be a future client that we would be loaning to, would be a builder.
Oh, absolutely. And in the market where it makes sense, when we've done it in the past, it's usually an escalating market. Generally, the person we lend to will own the property free and clear, meaning the land. The Norris Group will lend them the money for the construction. And even though some construction lenders, true construction lenders, might lend them a little more, I've had people tell me, by the time I jumped through the hoops and got the money from a traditional construction lender, I've already finished my project by borrowing hard money, even though maybe I had to have a little more in the deal or I had to own the land free and clear. So for people that can afford to leverage it, it makes a lot of sense.
So really some of the basic reasons to sum up is people borrow money from a hard money lender because it's quick, it's easy, and it's just a lot simpler than going through the conventional world.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. We looked at a chart recently where 19.6% of all transactions in California were cash transactions.
Yes.
And we hear from those people a lot for the next transaction when they run out of that money,
Right.
or when they need to refi. So this market that's generated a lot of lender-owned properties has really created an opportunity for bargain hunters to find either properties that they can buy, sell, or properties they can hold in cash flow.
Oh, absolutely.
And cash flow hasn't been a usual term in California for a long time.
No, I don't think people thought they'd see this.
No,
I mean,
so this is exciting.
This is very exciting.